It's really important that you make sure that your chair is on a non-slip surface. We're going to be doing quite a bit of weight bearing on the chair today. So I just want you to make sure before we get started that you're really happy with your chair and that it's not going to move around underneath you if you need to lean on it. And then other than that, we need our weights, so cans, or if you've got dumbbells, and it's entirely up to you how hard you want to work today. You can do all of these exercises without any weights at all if you want to. If you want to work with some light weights, that's absolutely fine. If you want to challenge yourself a little bit more and you've got something heavier at home, then please feel free to work with a slightly heavier weight if that's what you want to do. Other than that, please make sure you've got some water and you're drinking and taking sips whenever you need to. So I don't tend to stop for water breaks. So please just go with what you need and what your body's telling you. Make sure you stay hydrated. So today's session, we're going to do a little bit of a longer strength session this morning, working on some combination of upper body strength and working our legs as well. And then we're going to move into a flow sequence using our chair for support. So a few weeks ago, we did some mountain poses in a seated position with the chair underneath us while we were still working into those poses. This week, I'm going to show you a slightly different option so that we can still work with the warrior poses, so warrior 1 and warrior 2, but from a standing position using the chair for support. So it just gives you some different options. I know I spoke to, and I'm really sorry, I can't remember exactly who it was, a couple of weeks ago, just in regards to if some people have got hip issues or lower back issues. Actually, sometimes standing is better because you're engaging your core better. We can tend to get a little bit lazy sometimes sat on the chair and release the support around the torso, which can lead to it not feeling quite right in the hips or the lower back if you've got any issues there. So hopefully today will give you a different way to work with those poses. So if you're practicing at home, you can choose which works for you best. So let's get started. First of all, I'd like us just to check our posture. So making sure that to begin with, we're sitting towards the front of our chairs. So if you can, just wriggle your bottom forwards a little bit so that our back is off the support and we're really using our torso and those core muscles to help us sit tall. And I want you to think about stacking your spine, vertebrae on top of vertebrae, all the way up and then into the top of the head, imagining a piece of string tied to the top of the head, pulling you up towards the sky. So we're sitting tall. And at the same time, relaxing the shoulders down and away from the ears, dropping the shoulders down. And then if you can, think about drawing your shoulder blades down and together slightly at the back so that we're opening our chest just a little bit at the front, drawing the shoulders back and down. And then just relaxing the hands either in your lap or by your side. And before we begin warming up, we're just going to focus on our breathing. So we've been doing some deep belly breaths the last few weeks. And this week I'd like to introduce a new breathing technique. So the idea is very similar here. We're really focusing on our breath. And this particular technique is going to help us slow that breath down, which is going to help lower our heart rate, lower our blood pressure, and help with some of those feelings, things like anxiety, or if we've got a lot of adrenaline pumping around us, it can really help to just calm those feelings. So this is a alternating nostril balanced breath. I'll talk it through with you. So what we're going to do first is take one finger and place it onto one nostril, closing that nostril off. We're going to inhale through the open nostril all the way in, nice, long, deep breath in. Hold it at the top while we swap hands over, bringing the other finger to the other nostril, and then breathing out from the alternate nostril. And then starting again, with the open nostril, breathing in this time. So breathing in all the way to the bottom, holding it at the top, swapping hands, and then breathing out through the open nostril. Excellent. And again, so breathing in through the open nostril, all the way into the bottom of the lungs, holding it at the top, swapping hands, closing off that nostril and breathing out through the open nostril. Let's do 2 more of those. Again, breathing in through the open nostril, all the way to the bottom of the lungs, then swapping hands and breathing out through the open nostril. Last one, big deep breath in all the way to the bottom of the lungs. Holding it at the top, swapping hands, closing off one side and breathing out through the open nostril. And then just releasing. And then we're going to take 3 big deep breaths through both sides of the nose. So breathing in, all the way to the bottom of the lungs, breathing out through the nose, nice and slow and controlled. So notice both breaths are through the nose this time. Breathing in all the way to the bottom of the lungs. And then breathing out nice and slow and controlled. Last time, big deep breath in through the nose. And a nice slow breath out through the nose as well. Excellent, well done. So that was a little bit more complicated, and obviously we've got to coordinate the hands and the nostrils and making sure that we're breathing in and out from both sides. So we're constantly swapping the in-breath from one side to the other so that we're nice and balanced. So that one might take a little bit of practice. We're going to come back to it at the end of the session. But really, what that helps with is our focus and slowing that breath right down, slowing the heart rate, lowering the blood pressure. It's really good for that. So just relaxing the breath now, coming to a nice natural breathing pattern, we're going to start to warm the body up. So starting from the top, we're going to take one ear towards the same shoulder and gently roll the chin to the chest and take it back up the other side and going again in the other direction. And just taking your time here and listening to your body, noticing if anything in the neck feels tight or a bit crunchy, making sure that we're not pushing too far. Okay, we're just starting to get the body moving, so let's be nice and gentle. Excellent. 2 more. 1 and 2. Excellent. Bringing the head back to the middle, and then we'll move to our shoulders, starting with some big shoulder circles rolling up, forwards, down and back. Nice, big, juicy circles. 3, let's do 6 in this direction. 4, relaxing the arms. 5, 1 more, and 6. And then changing directions, so going forwards, up, back, and down. 2, 3, remembering to breathe. 4, so we're not holding our breath. 5, 1 more, 6, excellent. And then we're going to take our arms out to the sides, and we're going to have one palm facing down and the other arm facing up. And then we're going to twist from the shoulder, swapping over. So the hand that was facing up faces down, while the hand that was facing down faces up. I'm doing that a few times here, trying to keep the arms up at shoulder height, just working through the arms, the hands, and into the shoulders here. Excellent. Do 4 more. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then just relaxing the hands back down. And then taking the hands out in front, and we're just going to do some hand squeezes. So squeezing the fists tight and then opening the hands. Squeezing tight and opening them back out. Really stretching the fingers. 4 more of these. 4, 3, 2, last one, 1. And then placing the palms together, lifting the elbows up and pressing the hands together at the heart, stretching through the wrists and just going with your own body here. So some of you may be more flexible in the wrist than others. I've got quite tight tendons in my wrist, so I have to really press and concentrate for this one. Some of you may find that you're quite flexible in the wrists, so just go with your body here, making sure we're still sitting tall and the shoulders are down away from the ears, and we're breathing as we stretch through the wrists. And then turning the hands the other way, so fingers pointing down, backs of the hands together, keeping the elbows high, the wrists in line with the elbows, sitting tall and stretching in this direction. Excellent. Okay, one more breath in and out here. And then just releasing and giving the hands and the arms a little shake. And then from here, we're going to take the hands up onto the shoulders, lift the elbows up to shoulder height, sit up tall, and just take some gentle torso twists. So just twisting from one side to the other. And while we're twisting, we're really thinking about pressing the feet into the floor, keeping the knees facing forwards and trying to keep those hips nice and still so that we're just working through the torso here. Keeping the bottom half of the body really still, making a lovely strong base for us to work the torso above. Let's do 4 more. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then coming back to the middle, releasing the arms. And then we're going to take some gentle side bends. So reaching one arm all the way up, breathing in and breathing out as we bend over to the side and swapping over. Big breath in, reaching all the way up, breathing out and bending over. And again, big breath in, breathing out, reaching over. I'm going to do 6 on each side. So this is 5. And again, breathing in and breathing out. 4. Seeing if we can go a little bit further each time. 3. Keeping the chest open to the front. 2. So making sure we're not folding down over the legs, but we're keeping the chest up and open, and we're really working into the side of the body. Last one, breathing in and breathing out. Excellent. And coming back to sitting. And then from here, we're going to work through the hips a little bit. So picking up one leg, holding the fingers underneath the thigh, and we're just going to take the leg in some gentle circles in one direction. So 6, 5, and 6, and then change direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then gently placing the leg back down and swapping over to the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, one more, and then changing direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then placing that foot back down on the floor. And then just working into the hip a little bit further by lifting that first leg, bringing the ankle on top of the thigh and letting the knee drop out to the side. And just taking a very gentle hip opener here. So we're not going to do anything too complicated or strenuous for the hip here because we're only just warming up. We're just going to take a gentle stretch. So taking one hand to the ankle and one hand to the knee, and then just gently pushing the chest forwards through the arms and slightly hinging in the hips over that leg, just until you feel a nice gentle stretch And then we're going to take 2 lovely big deep breaths, breathing in, thinking about reaching up out the top of your head, and breathing out, and seeing if you can relax over that leg a little bit further, and relax that knee out to the side. And again, breathing in, sitting up tall, and breathing out, relaxing into that stretch a little bit further. And then gently taking that leg, placing it back on the floor and swapping sides. So picking up the other leg, placing the ankle on top of the thigh, allowing that knee to drop out to the side. You might be up here, you might be all the way down and out. Wherever you are is absolutely fine, as long as we are relaxing as much as possible in that hip. So taking one hand to the knee, one hand to the ankle, sitting up tall, breathing in, and then breathing out, pressing forward slightly with the chest and tipping from the hips a little way. And again, big deep breath in, reaching up through the top of the head. Now breathing out and relaxing into that stretch a little bit further if we can. Excellent. And then gently releasing that leg back down to the floor. And we're going to leave the legs for now, because we are going to warm our legs up at the same time as working the strength in our arms. So we're just going to move straight to our feet and ankles. So lifting one leg, and again here you can support underneath the leg if you want to, extending the foot, and we're just going to take some gentle circles with the ankle in one direction, 6 this way, 5, 6, and then swapping direction, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Lovely. Placing that foot back down and swapping sides. 1, 2, 3, 4. Notice if, like me, you've got a few clicks and cracks happening in the ankles here. And changing direction. And just knowing that a little bit of tightness and some clicking and cracking is perfectly normal. But if anything feels painful or sharp, then please stop, okay? 5 and 6. And then placing the feet back onto the floor. And then we're going to do some gentle little ankle raises. So I'm not sure if you can actually see my feet. So I'm just going to turn to the side so I know that you can see what my feet are doing here. So we're just going to rise up onto our toes, all the way through the feet and back down. Let's do that 6 times. 1, 2, nice and controlled, 3, 4, really pressing into the balls of the feet as you rise up. 5, one more, 6, excellent. And then I'm coming back round, you were already facing this way, coming back round to the front. So from here, we're just going to do a little bit of seated cardio to start warming up those legs and the arms, preparing them for our strength work. So we're just going to run on the spot. Now it's up to you, the tempo that you want to take here. We can keep it nice and slow and steady. If you want to pick it up a little bit, you can, but we really want to use the arms here and the legs at the same time. So we're involving the whole body, slightly raising the heart rate, warming up those legs and arms. We're going to do this for 30 seconds. And I'm going to challenge you for the last 10 seconds to up that tempo as fast as you can for the last 10 seconds. So I'm just going to wait for the second hand to get down to the bottom, and then we're going to go. Here we go. So running on the spot, alternating arms and legs. And if you want to pick it up and go a bit faster, you can. Excellent, well done. That's 15 seconds gone. 5 more seconds at this pace, and then we're going to speed it up in 2, 1, as fast as you can. Keep going. 3, 2, 1. Well done. And coming back down. Okay. From here, we're going to pick up our weights, and we're going to work the arms and the legs. So we're just doing a little set of exercises here that come in pairs. So we're going to start with the basic and then build on the slightly more complicated with each of these. So again, making sure we're sitting towards the front of the seat. Our backs are nice and long. We're going to start with our bicep curls. Now, if you find that you struggle to take the curl without letting the body go, see if you can just take the weight slightly out to the side. So you're almost making a V shape, and that'll help to keep your elbows in to your torso as well, so that we're really working with the right posture and technique here. So we're going to take 6 bicep curls just straight as they are, remembering that you can drop the weights at any time if you need to. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, one more, 6. And then we're going to do the same again, but this time we're going to add the legs. So we're going to add 1, 2, marching the feet, 3, 4, 5, last one, 6. Excellent. So with all of these options, if you want to just stay with the basic and not add on the extra movement, you can just stay where you are. From here, we're going to take the arms out to the side, and we're going to take some side raises. So hands are facing down, and the arms are lifting up to shoulder height and back down. Okay, 6 of these. Here we go. 1, 2, making sure we're breathing. 3, breathing out when you're working hard. 4, 5, last one, and 6. Excellent. And then from here, we're going to do 6 side raises again, but this time we're also going to take leg raises at the same time. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 more, 5, 6. Okay, so you might notice as we add the legs in, it's loading a bit of work into our core. So I want you to make sure that you're really thinking about zipping up your tummy. So something that I have been taught and I found really useful was imagining that your torso is like a jacket. So you've got muscles that wrap all the way around the side, and you've got your abdominals that come up the front as well. So I want you to imagine when you're switching on these core muscles, I want you to imagine that you're wrapping that jacket around you and zipping it up the front. And see if that imagery can really help you to engage those muscles as we start to introduce the legs. Okay, so talking of our core muscles, we're going to do 2 more movements here, introducing the shoulders and a little bit of work in the core. So we're starting with a shoulder press, bringing your weight up to your shoulders. We're going to press our weights up overhead. So just making sure that we're holding nice and tight onto our weights. We're not going to drop anything overhead. So here we go, pressing up, 1, and back down, 2, 3, 4, 5, one more, and 6. And then really thinking about zipping that jacket up, wrapping it around and zipping it up, engaging those core muscles as we add in a little twist for our obliques. So here we're going to go up, and then we're going to come down to the side, and back up, and down to the side. So we're adding a little twist, working into the side of our tummy muscles. That's 2, here's 3, 4, press and down, 5, last one, 6, excellent, and then coming back to the middle. And then from here, we're going to work with something called a Russian twist. So you may have seen this before, often people do it with a big medicine ball and you're twisting from side to side. You've got some options here. You can keep your weights nice and low at chest height and just think about bringing them down to the hip and back up. And if you want a bit more work, you can lift them higher, up at shoulder height. And if you want even more work, you can come up and down all the way to the hip again. So starting with our Russian twist, 6 of these. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then this time we're going to add in knee raises. So we're going to go down to the side, and then as we come back up, we're going to lift the opposite knee. Down and lift. Down and lift. Down and lift. 2 more. Down and lift. Down and lift. Okay, excellent, well done. And then finishing off with a combination of back and triceps. So here, you might want to just take your feet a little bit wider, creating a bit of space in the hips so that you can tip forward slightly. So we're kind of on a 45-degree angle with the back now. So thinking about the top of your head, reaching on a diagonal up towards the corner of the room. And then we're going to take the hands down by the sides, and we're going to row the arms back. So we're thinking about pulling the elbows back along the body and then squeezing them all the way back behind. So if I just turn to the side so you can see, we're slightly forwards in the back, nice flat back, and then we're squeezing up and back down. So we're going to do 6 of those. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 more, 5, and 6. Excellent. And then this time we're going to add in a tricep curl. So I'll show you from one side so you can see clearly. We're going to do our row, and then we're going to extend the arm behind, working into the tricep, and then bring it back before we go down. So do that with both arms at the same time. So here we go. Row and extend. In and down. Row, extend, bring the hands back in, lower down. 4 more. 1, 2, 3, and last one, 4. Excellent. Well done. Sitting back up, putting your weights down, and then just giving the arms and the hands and the shoulders a little shake out. Okay, excellent. Well done. So from here, we're going to move our chairs now and come into a standing position. And the next part of the class, we're going to be working on a sequence that's using the chair for support. So we're not going to be sitting on the chair for this next section. So let's come to standing and moving the chair so that you can still see your screen, but you've got plenty of space behind you to work behind you, away from the chair. And we're turning the chair so the seat of the chair is facing us and the back is furthest away. So to start with, we're just coming to standing in front of the chair, allowing a little bit of space between us and the chair. And we're just going to work through a little mountain sequence, warming up the back and getting used to our placement so we've got a bit of time to adjust if we need to. So thinking about the feet being directly underneath the hips, toes pointing forwards, standing tall, bringing the shoulders back, slightly opening the chest, looking up. And if you can here, I want you to think about bringing the chin backwards just a little bit to help keep our head in line with our body. Often, we tend to let the head drop forwards and come into this kind of slouching position, which is really bad for our shoulders and our backs. So let's try to bring that chin back. From here, we're going to take a big deep breath in and reach the arms all the way up overhead. And then as you breathe out, we're going to fold forwards and bring our hands onto the chair, taking support on the chair and then folding all the way down into a chair fold. Thinking about dropping your head towards the floor, taking another big deep breath here, in and out. Just relax through the back, stretch down the back of the legs. Now notice you can have a gentle bend in the knees here if you need to. We're not going to lock the knees out. And then with the next in-breath, we're coming up to a flat back. So trying to create that lovely tabletop position with your back. And then for the next breath in, we're going to fold back down to our chair fold. Breathing out and stretching here. And then breathing in, bringing our backs all the way up to standing again, sweeping the arms up overhead, and breathing out and bringing the hands down the middle. So let's do that little sequence one more time. Big deep breath in, reaching the hands all the way up overhead. Breathing out as we fold down, taking our hands onto the chair for support, and coming into a chair fold. So dropping the head down as far as you can, relaxing and releasing through the head and the neck, gentle bend in the knees. Take another big deep breath here. See if you can deepen that stretch a little bit. And then with your next in-breath, pushing through the hands, straightening the arms, and bringing them back to a tabletop position, a nice flat back, and just looking slightly ahead. And then with the next in-breath, folding back down to our full chair fold, breathing out here. And then breathing in, walking the back up, sweeping the arms all the way up overhead, breathing out and bringing the hands down the middle. Excellent. Okay, we're going to add on a little bit now. So this time, starting with mountain, sweeping all the way up as you breathe in. Breathing out and coming down to your chair. Coming all the way down to your chair fold. Breathing out. And another deep breath in and out here as we stretch a little bit further. And if you can now, bring the elbows to the chair. Then go for it. If you're still up here, that's absolutely fine. From here, with the next in-breath, we're moving to our flat back. And breathing out here as well. And then we're going to move into our cat and cow pose. So taking a deep breath in and pressing through the hands. And then breathing out, we're going to tuck the tummy in and arch back up, coming to cat pose, looking down at the floor. And then breathing in, pressing through, dropping the tummy, pushing the pelvis and the bottom back, and looking out ahead in cow pose. Breathing out and returning to cat pose, arching the back up to the sky. And then with the next in-breath, moving through to cow pose. Let's do that 2 more times for each pose. Back through to cat pose, breathing out. And then moving through to cow pose, breathing in. Last time for each pose, cat pose, stretching up to the sky. And then cow pose, thinking about opening the chest and dropping the tummy. And then with the next out breath, coming back to a flat back. And then one more round of breath here, breathing in and out. And then next in breath, walking the back up, sweeping the arms up overhead. And breathing out as you bring the hands down the middle. Okay, excellent. So hopefully we're feeling a little bit warm and we've got those bodies moving. So from here, we're going to work through a little sequence that includes a standing down dog, a plank pose, cobra, and then working with our warrior 1 and warrior 2 poses as well. So starting as we have with a big deep breath in, reaching all the way up to mountain pose. This time we're going to breathe out and reach forwards, bringing the hands onto the chair, and then move through to our flat back. From here, we're going to step the feet backwards and come into a chair plank. Now, this is where it's really important that our chairs are nice and stable. They're not going to slip out from behind us. So we're stepping 1 foot back, 2 feet back, and then we're pressing the hips forwards, zipping up those tummies, and coming into a chair plank. So we're making a lovely straight line like a plank would, all the way from the top of our head down to our heels. Now, you may find, like me, if you're quite tight in the Achilles here, that you are on the balls of your feet. That's absolutely fine, wherever works for you. From here, we're going to take a breath in, and then breathe out and press through and come through to cobra. So we're dropping the chest through the hands, opening it forwards and looking up. Now, if this is too much for you, you can stay in your mountain pose. Sorry, your plank pose. Okay? Or you can join me in cobra. And then from here, we're going to breathe in, breathe out, zip up the tummy, and then press the bottom all the way back, bring the heels to the floor, and come to our standing down dog. So we're pushing the bottom all the way back, over the feet, and we're lengthening in the arms, and then dropping the chest through the shoulders, coming to our standing down dog. Again, we can have a nice soft bend in the knees here if you need to. If you need to take that a little bit deeper, then that's absolutely fine. And then let's just see if we can take a moment to turn the head from side to side, relaxing through the shoulder and the neck here. One more big round of breath in, breathing out and relaxing. And then we're just going to walk the feet forwards and come back to our chair before taking another big deep breath in, stacking the back, sweeping the arms up, breathing out and bringing the hands down the middle. Let's do that again. So remembering that if the cobra pose is too much for you today, you can stay in your plank pose, taking a break whenever you need to. So here we go, big deep breath in, reaching up overhead. Breathing out, folding forwards, coming to your chair. Breathing in, pressing through the arms, coming to your flat back. Breathing out. Breathing in and stepping back to our chair plank. Breathing out as we zip up the tummy, hand press the hips forwards slightly so we're in a nice straight line. So we're not letting the hips collapse and we're not lifting the bottoms up. We're trying to create a nice straight line with a flat back. From here, we're going to breathe in, breathe out, and press through to cobra, dropping the hips, opening the chest. Then breathing in here, breathing out, zipping up the tummy, pressing the bottoms back and coming to our chair down dog. Stretching the arms, pressing through the hands, spreading the fingers, pressing the feet into the floor, stretching down the back of the legs, slightly bending in the knees if you need to. Another round of breath here, in and out. And then gently stepping the feet forward, coming back to our flat back on the chair, moving in, out, and bringing in as we stack the spine, sweep the arms overhead, breathing out and bringing the hands down the middle. Okay, we're going to add on a little bit more now. So this time we're going to work with Warrior One. Breathing in, reaching up. Breathing out, folding forwards, taking hold of the chair. Breathing in and coming to our flat back. Breathing out here. Breathing in and stepping back to chair pose. Sorry, plank pose. Breathing out, holding your plank. Breathing in, bending the elbows. Breathing out as we press through to cobra. Breathing in, zipping up the tummy, and breathing out as we press back to standing down dog. Taking one more round of breath here. Stretching through those legs, reaching the arms forwards. Then from here, with the next in-breath, we're going to step 1 foot forwards towards the chair, and then turn the back foot to 45 degrees to prepare us for Warrior One. Bending the front knee over the toes, making sure the knees are in line with the foot so it's not rolling in or out. And then we're going to gently walk ourselves up using the chair and our legs to come up to Warrior One, making sure that our hips are facing the chair. And then with your next in-breath, sweeping the arms up overhead, breathing out and stretching and sinking in this pose. If you want a little bit more here, you can bring the hands back to the chair and step the legs a little bit further away from each other if you want to. If you're quite happy with the feet a bit closer, standing a bit taller, that's absolutely fine. As long as those hips are facing the chair We're opening the chest and we're working those legs. Excellent. With the next in-breath, reaching up, breathing out, bringing the hands back to the chair, remembering that you can walk down your leg, take your time here if you need to. And then from here, releasing the back foot so that it's now facing forwards again. Stepping both feet back, coming back to our down dog. So breathing in and out. Yeah, one more round of breath. In your chair, down dog. And then with your next in-breath, stepping the other leg forwards. Coming to warrior one on the other side, releasing the back heel so that we can turn that foot to 45 degrees. Making sure the knee is lined up correctly before walking the torso up, stacking the body on top of the hips, making sure the hips are facing the chair. Breathing in and reaching up, and breathing out and sinking down. And if you're struggling to bring those hips around to the front, you can just make your feet a little bit wider. So take the back foot out to the sides, a little bit further, just to create a bit more space in the hips. One more round of breath here, breathing in, reaching up, and breathing out, and sinking down. And then with the next in-breath, starting to work your way back down onto the chair. Breathing out as you release the back foot and step the back feet together into chair pose, pressing the bottom back as we breathe in, and sinking into chair pose as we breathe out. One more round of breath here, breathing in, and breathing out. And then nice and gently walking the feet forwards towards the chair. Breathing in, stacking the spine, rolling up as we sweep the arms overhead. And breathing out and bringing the hands down the middle. Excellent. Okay, one more sequence now. Adding the warrior two instead of warrior one. So here we go. Big deep breath in, reaching all the way up. Breathing out and folding forwards, hands on the chair. Breathing in and coming through to our flat back. And breathing out here. Breathing in and stepping back to prepare for our chair plank. Breathing out, zipping up the tummy, and coming forward in our plank pose. Now holding it here if you want to, or joining me as you breathe in, bend the elbows, press the chest through, coming to cobra pose, breathing out. Zipping up the tummy again as we breathe in, press the bottoms back, bring the heels to the floor, breathing out and sinking into downward dog on the chair. Another round of breath here, really working into this pose, stretching through the back of the arms, stretching down the legs, thinking about really pressing the bottom backwards here. And then from here, we're going to step one foot forwards. And this time we're preparing for warrior two. So the back foot is going to turn a full 90 degrees. So it's now pointing out to the side. With the next in-breath, we're going to walk the hands up, stack the torso, and then this time we're opening the body to the side and taking the arms wide as we breathe in, breathing out and sinking down. And another round of breath here, breathing in, and breathing out and sinking down. Excellent. With the next in-breath, reaching forwards, windmill the arms over towards the chair, breathing out, releasing that back foot, breathing in and stepping back to downward facing dog, breathing out and stretching here. One more round of breath in this pose. Excellent. And then with the next in-breath, stepping forwards with the other foot, releasing the back foot and turning it 90 degrees, so it's pointing to the other side now. Breathing in, walking the hands up, stacking the body on top of the legs. Breathing out, coming to prepare for your warrior two. With your next in-breath, taking the arms wide, and then breathing out and sinking down. And again, big deep breath in, Thinking about sending the energy all the way out to the ends of the fingertips, breathing out and sinking down. And then with the next in-breath, reaching the front arm down towards the chair, windmill the other hand over, breathing out, releasing the back foot, breathing in and stepping back to prepare for down facing dog as we breathe out. And one more round of breath here, breathing in and breathing out. And then gently stepping your feet forwards, coming to our flat back, breathing in and breathing out. And then with the next in breath, stacking the spine, reaching the arms up overhead, breathing out and bringing the hands down the middle. Okay, excellent, well done everybody. So from here, we're going to make our way back onto our chairs again. So coming back to a seated position. And just to help lower that heart rate, we're going to take a couple of gentle salutations here. So just starting with a big deep breath in, reaching up overhead. Breathing out, opening the arms and folding down. Breathing in, bringing the hands to the thighs, coming up to a half fold. Breathing out, sinking back down. And breathing in and sweeping all the way up. One more time, breathing out, folding down. Breathing in, coming up to a half fold. Breathing out and sinking back down. Breathing in and sweeping all the way up. Now breathing out and bringing the hands down the middle. Okay, so we're going to return to our alternating nostril balance breath now. So let's have another go at this. So we're closing off one nostril, breathing in, holding it, swapping hands, breathing out, and then staying here while we breathe back in the same nostril, hold here, swap over, breathe out the open nostril. We'll do that so that we're breathing 3 times on each side. So here we go. Closing off one nostril, breathing in, nice deep, long breath in. Hold it here and swap hands and breathing out. Breathing back in the same nostril. Hold it here, swap over and breathing out. Excellent. And again, breathing in. Holding it here, swapping over and breathing out. Breathing in on the same side. Holding it here, swapping over and breathing out. Last round, here we go, breathing in. Thinking about sitting up tall as we breathe in. Hold it here, swap hands, breathing out. Last one, big deep breath in. Hold it here, swap hands, and breathing all the way out. Excellent. And then releasing both nostrils and keep taking 3 deep breaths in and out through the nose, using both sides of the nose this time. In through the nose and out through the nose. One more. Excellent. Okay, so hopefully that's just helped to bring your heart rate down a little bit. And we can begin to think about relaxing and taking a little bit of time for a bit of relaxation and mindfulness. So now let's put our bottoms back onto our chairs all the way and use that back support now to help begin relaxing the body. So even though we're relaxing and using the back of the chair to lean against here, I still want you to think about a nice long spine, so we're not slouching over in our chairs. So whenever we slouch and crunch down here, it compresses the amount of space we have for our lungs to work and to expand and take those lovely deep breaths. So whenever you're sitting or standing, really see if you can think about keeping that body tall and long so that we're allowing the lungs to work as best they can, getting that lovely oxygen pumping around the body. So from here, we're going to just start thinking about working up the body, relaxing and releasing. So starting at the feet, I want you to scrunch your toes, squeeze them tight, squeeze, 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 and relax. And send any last bits of tension in your feet down and away into the ground. And then moving up the body to the legs, think about hugging the muscles of the legs tight to the bone. Squeeze, 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 and relax. And let any last bits of tension in the legs flow down and away into the ground. And then moving to the hands, curling the fingers into the fists, squeezing tight. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. And relax. And let any last bits of tension in the hands flow down and away into the ground. And then moving to the arms, squeezing the muscles of the arms tight to the bones. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. And relax. And send any last bits of tension in the arms down and away into the ground. And then thinking about your shoulders, squeezing your shoulders up to your ears. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. And then relax. And let any last bits of tension in the shoulders flow down and away into the ground. And then lastly, thinking about the face, squeezing the eyes shut, pressing the lips together, scrunching the nose up. Squeeze, 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 and relax. And let any last bits of tension in the face flow down and away into the ground. And now I just invite you to close your eyes if you want to. And if you've got any warm layers to hand, maybe pop your socks back on or put a jumper on. Make sure you're staying nice and warm as we move into a little bit of mindfulness. So first of all, I just would like you to bring your attention to your breath. So we're just breathing in a nice natural rhythm now, not worrying about which nostril we're breathing in or out of. Just allowing the breath to flow in and out. And as you breathe, I want you just to pay attention to the rise and the fall of your chest. The sensation of the air passing in and out. The sound of your breath. And then let's use that focus to see if we can notice some other sounds. So just opening the ears and spending a moment here, just mindfully listening. Starting with the room that you're in, see if you can notice any sounds around you. Perhaps you can hear the ticking of a clock, whirring of the TV on standby. And then taking that attention a little bit wider, seeing if you can notice any other sounds in your house. Perhaps there are other people moving around. Maybe a radio or a TV playing in another room. Somebody talking on the phone. See what you can notice as you use that attention and focus to cast a wider net. And then let's spread that just a little bit further to the outside world around you. And you hear any sounds from outside, any birds calling, perhaps there's a sound of traffic, or the breeze in the trees, people walking or talking outside, a dog barking. What can you notice? And then I'd like you to name 5 things you can hear. And if you're struggling to get to 5, really focus and see if you can notice any of those small everyday sounds that we tend to just ignore and let wash over us. What else can you hear around you? And then once you've got your 5 sounds, I'd like you just to focus on one. Really zone in on that noise. And see if you can find a rhythm. And bring that rhythm back to your body, back to your breath. And we're just going to sit with those sounds for a moment of calm and stillness. And then slowly starting to wake our bodies up again, giving our toes and our fingers a wiggle. Stretching our legs away, stretching our arms up overhead, taking a yawn here if you need to. And then giving yourselves a little hug before taking one final big deep breath in, reaching up. Now reaching